Ralf Rangnick is currently one of the most popular coaches in football, and for good reason. His Austria team are playing some of the best, if not the best, football in the Euro 2024 group stages. They have impressively topped their group, scoring the most goals in Group D, which includes both France and the Netherlands, having mastered the Gegenpress, winning the ball high, creating chances and playing with verticality. Today, we will be breaking down his 4-2-3-1 system at the Euros, but this video comes with a twist. Ralf Rangnick has taken over AS Monaco for a Rangnick rebuild, and I'm tasked with using in real life data and Wyscout to find 3 perfect players for AS Monaco and his system. We achieved great things, but no more spoilers. Let's start. Ralf Rangnick sets his team up in a 4-2-3-1 formation in a low build-up. In the high build-up, Rangnick's Austria employs a 2-4-3-1 formation, with the wingers tucking inside and the fullbacks advancing high. As the winger inverts their runs, it forces the opposing team's fullbacks to track them, resulting in wide spaces on the flanks. This enables the Austria fullbacks to advance into these areas and receive from the midfield or the defense. Now, with ample time, they can deliver a cross into the penalty area. Austria adjust both their building up and attacking shape, adapting to their opponent's out of possession formation to secure numerical superiority in various zones. Typically, they drop one of their defensive midfielders to fullback into the defensive line, forming a 3-1-5-1 setup. This is frequently used against teams with 2 forwards, enabling Austria to enjoy a 3 versus 2 advantage in the defense against the opposition's attackers. Intensity in possession. Counter-attacking plays a crucial role in Rangnick's teams, as he does not prioritize possession. Rangnick advocates for swift attacks after regaining possession, especially when space is available, which can result in creating dangerous scoring opportunities through intense pressure. Despite Austria on average seeing less possession than most teams in the tournament, they are second with the most goals scored, currently on 6. Intensity out of possession. Counter-pressing plays a significant part in Rangnick's tactics as well. Just like when they are in possession, Austria aims to swiftly close down space and time for their opponents when they lose the ball. Austria leads in attempted tackles and blocked passes plus shots, ranks second in successful tackles, and sit third in interceptions. This demonstrates their distinct approach of regaining possession rapidly and assertively. Verticality in possession. Rangnick prefers a style of play that focuses on quick forward movement and creating opportunities to attack by playing through the middle. His teams maintain a narrow shape, which makes it easier to generate multiple attacking options by making runs in behind the opposition's defense. This constant focus on playing forward allows his teams to pose a continuous threat as they push towards the goal during the entire match. Then there's verticality out of possession. Their team has vertical compactness, which prevents opposition from getting in between the lines to control play. Rangnick emphasizes on having a compact block throughout, keeping his team connected. Austria have been employing overlapping runs to generate goal-scoring opportunities. Upon receiving the ball on the wing, the Austrian winger is promptly supported by the fullback who overlaps, resulting in a 2v1 on the wing. Should the opposing fullback attempt to mark the overlapping run, the winger has the option to cut inside for a shot or pass to a midfielder and can simply connect to a striker. Alternatively, if the fullback covers the central area, the ball can be directed to the overlapping fullback, thus setting up a chance to deliver a cross into the penalty area. Overload. Rangnick aims to create multiple overloads in 2 specific areas. Firstly, he seeks to control central spaces in order to form a higher concentration of players in those areas. This reduces the distance between players and also creates opportunities to bypass the opponent's out of possession shape by exploiting the wider areas. Secondly, the goal is to generate overloads in the opponent's defensive line. This enables the team to swarm the attacking third with players, thereby increasing their opportunities to exploit any errors. So we can see with UEFA stats, Austria scoring the second most goals, 6, just 2 behind the leaders, Germany. Looking at their attempts though, they do drop down to around 17th, so that shows how clinical they have been in front of goal. But not just that, they are creating those good scoring opportunities. The defending stats also tell a story. We all have seen Georgia play and we know how hard working they are, so it's no surprise that they top the list with balls recovered. But then look at Austria, close in second with 132, but it's similar with tackles as well. They are second with tackles. But that is the Rangnick analysis wrapped up. We are now going to look at the signings that we bought for Monaco for this Rangnick system. This is my recruitment plan, and I did set myself up with some rules sort of to keep things realistic. So I've got 30 million to spend, which was the in-game budget, but then I use transfer markets values to determine the transfer fees. So in real life, for an example, Saka on transfer market is 140 million. Of course, not my sort of budget, but if I did want to sign Saka, then it would have cost me 140 million. So the first position was a ball playing centre back, comfortable defending in a high line and has some agility to him, currently playing in a system that does employ counter pressing and counter attacking, which has made that transition a little bit easier. But the player himself, his attributes, he should have strong physical attributes, a good 1v1 defender, strong in defensive duels, strong in aerial duels, and doesn't give away a lot of fouls or makes many errors. For the winger, I was looking for a versatile and creative winger, sort of that inverted winger profile, can play across the attack line. Mostly though, we are looking for a right and left winger. Great physical attributes, so pace, stamina, strength and work rate, good expected assists per 90, high attacking actions per 90, good dribbling, crosses, through passes, but also duels 1% and interceptions, because you have to work hard within this Ralf Rangnick system. Lastly was a left back, a creative attacking left back, one that can get further forward and put crosses into the box, but he doesn't have to be a starter player. He can be the backup to Chao Henrique, who is actually fairly good on Football Manager already. Again, comfortable defending with a high line, must be able to overlap. So the players that I did put on my shortlist, I then had to watch a few clips just to make sure they do pass the eye test. So high attacking actions, high expected assist, high crosses per 90, good defensive duels, good defending in 1v1, but also can make interceptions. So I did cheat a little for the centre back. I didn't actually create a shortlist because I already had a player in mind from a previous video that I did. I did a Manchester United video and Omar Salet from Red Bull Salzburg was on the shortlist. He likes to bring the ball out from the back. His main strength is his jumping reach, but you can see he's got a bit of pace and a bit of agility to him as well. Only 24, he will only get better. This was my shortlist for the fullbacks. I believe I mentioned in a previous video that fullbacks aren't the easiest to look for. So we do have a couple names here. We actually have Harrison Burrows from Peterborough United in League One. Of course, we didn't go for him, but his data was absolutely insane. So not only did Burrows, as a left back by the way, score 6 goals, he also got 14 assists. But out of these 9 players, I did manage to strip it down to 3 players. These 3 players highlighted here, and guess who I got? Maxime de Kuiper, a Belgian left back who I believe currently plays at Club Brugge, and we can see in Football Manager actually he's very decent at crossing. He can tackle, he can pass the ball first touch. His main strength in his game is his teamwork, which obviously suits us very well in our aggressive system. He's also got aggression on 12 as well, so again he's actually suiting this team, this profile perfectly. He did score 3 goals but also got 9 assists, and we can see in this heat map as well just how attacking he wants to be. So Maxime de Kuiper is our left back. Lastly, for our winger, the shortlist, I mean, it was a lot. Of course, this player here, I can't pronounce his name, I'm going to embarrass myself. Kvaratskhelia, yeah, that guy at Napoli. Of course, not a realistic target. I was intrigued by how some of these players would obviously look side by side with the data. I did come across some interesting players though, like Delane Bakwa, this Gomez guy as well at Real Salt Lake. I actually really like him, so close to getting in. Roger Fernandez, a very good up and coming player, but the player that I did end up with was Yasser Asprilla from Watford, a very decent talent here. We've got a wonder kid. We've got a wonder kid on our hands now. He doesn't have any green attributes, nothing that really stands out there, but he is very well rounded. And of course, we have to take in the fact that he's only 20. He does like to come deep to get the ball, which, you know what, wingers are on supportive duty anyway, so that isn't a bad idea. We do want to pass the ball into space, so it might conflict a little bit. Nonetheless though, he played 22 games for us, scoring 8 goals, getting 10 assists. So as a 20-year-old with 18 goal contributions in League 1, very very good. Those 3 transfers cost me a total of £28 million. Yasser Asprilla cost £9 million, and he played 44 games in the championship, scoring 6 goals, getting 7 assists. Maxim de Cooper, he's at Club Brugge, of course. He cost me £9 million. In the Belgium league, he scored 2 goals with 7 assists as the left back. And then Omar Saleh cost £10 million according to Transfer Market, and he played 21 games. That's only around 59% of the starting 11 for Salzburg. So not the most games, but when you do watch him, a very, very good talent. That's the transfer wrapped up. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with that £2 million. I haven't worked it out yet. Might enjoy myself, might go on holiday, but not for now, because we are now going to break down the tactic and look at the results. Haha, where do you think you're going? Make sure you have liked this video. It's so easy, so quick to do, but you know what it does? It helps this channel out massively. Also, if you do want to help support the channel and myself, then make sure you go and check out the Patreon, where you can support as little as £3 and you get some bonus content like the early access of the Vincent Company tactic. But with this tactic, this video, you will get to see me beat PSG twice. I'm going to upload the games because I do record the matches when I'm playing them, and I'm going to upload those 2 games home and away on the Patreon. Let's get into Football Manager though. So these are the player roles. We are going to go through the player instructions, but I do want to tell you a little story. So this got requested so many times, and I was using Austria admittedly and a team in Austria, and I was trying and I just couldn't get a Ralf Rangnick tactic to work, and it was fairly frustrating because it's a 4-2-3-1 Gegenpress, right? It should work on FM, but there of course are some tactical nuances that I was trying to get into the tactic, which just was not working out for me. So yesterday I thought, let me create a 4-2-3-1, no Rangnick in my head, and I just wanted to create a tactic that gets the striker to score. So I just thought, what happens if I choose roles that are purely supportive for the striker, feed the striker so he can get goals. I did it, and I was very happy with what I created. And then I looked at it and I thought, hey, this is Ralf Rangnick's tactic. I then made a few changes, and then here we are. We've ended up with the Ralf Rangnick tactic. So the striker in the system, absolutely banging. And then it also allowed me to use roles like advanced playmaker on attack, which I've rarely used this year, but now I'm using it in a very effective way. We will see Golovin stats. But in goal, we do have the sweeper keeper. On defend, the left back is a fullback on attack, taking more risk, crossing to the center and tackle harder. So you see what I mean? I was aiming for the striker. I just wanted the striker to score goals. The right back, fullback on support, taking more risk, cross aim in the center, tackle harder. The 2 centre backs, no instructions. The DLP, no instructions. Secondo Volante, no, taking more risk, tackle harder. Again, take more risk, feed the striker. In the attacking line, we've got the inside forward, shoot less often because I want you to pass, tackle harder. And this role started with an inverted winger. Only then I started recreating Rangnick. I changed it to an inside forward because that is more like the Austria left winger. But at the start, it was inverted winger, just like the right winger, taking more risks, shoot less often, tackling harder. Just behind the striker, we have the advanced playmaker on attack, tackling harder. Lastly, we have the advanced forward, taking more risks and tackling harder. There are 3 variations, so when you are away to the very elite teams, you can see here actually I haven't quite tweaked it to Ralf Rangnick, so you can see here the fullbacks on attack and the inverted winger on support. But there's 3 systems, and you will get that in the download folder. Team instructions: positive mentality, attacking width fairly narrow, focus play through the middle. Again, another instructions that I've rarely used. Play out from the back, shorter passing and a higher tempo, run at the defense. Final third though, low crosses. In transition, of course, we're going to counter press and counter. When a goalkeeper has the ball, I want him to distribute the ball to the centre back. With this instruction in the other tactics, we did tweak it. Out of possession, Ralf Rangnick, of course, high press, high defensive line, much more trigger press, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in and step up more. Now let's look at the second system. When you are away to the elite teams, mentality is actually dropped down to balance. I did play with positive as well, and I didn't really see much of a difference, so make sure you test that out yourselves. And the trigger press is now in the middle, unlike Ralf Rangnick a little bit. And then for the last system, when you are trying to kill a game, a system that I used a lot and it's very effective. It's basically, again, the same as the away to the elite teams, but now without the counter-attacking instruction. What I did actually end up doing is just tweaking this one. So I had this one at Monaco, and then when I was playing a PSG or something, I would just go into the tactic just before the game and reduce it just like that, rather than using the other tactic. But hey ho, it's there for you. It is there for you. So that's the tactic wrapped up, and just like I promised, I am going to show you the advanced playmaker's stats. In 37 games, he scored 18 goals, which is sort of unusual for an advanced playmaker, with 11 assists. So very good season for Alexander Golovin, a very good season for Monaco, and now it's time to show you why. We had some great victories, like beating Montpellier 6-1 away from home. We beat Marseille 5-1 at home as well, beating Lyon 2-0. So these are some of the stronger teams in the league, apart from Montpellier, but I just thought I'll show you that. We did beat PSG 4-2. Again, that game is on the Patreon. Away from home, well, also in Trophy des Champions, we beat PSG 2-0 in that final. But away from home, we also beat them 2-1. Again, that match is on the Patreon. We had many high-scoring games, like beating Lyon 6-1 at home. Solette with the ball here, plays it to the Kuiper. Back to Solette, the two new signings there combining. His Camara finds Esprilla, the other new signing, and some trouble in the box there. Camara gets the ball, and he's surely going to smash that. Let me just up the speed a little bit. Very slow there. Golovin then scored the second from a penalty spot. The third goal was a beautiful goal. It came from the start. So here is Golovin on the ball, plays it to Zakaria from A to B very quickly. The ball's in the back of the net. We did whip the ball in from a corner. It goes to Golovin, Asprilla, Vanderson, Asprilla, Zakaria. I can't even keep up. The pace is too fast. Here's Mohamed Camara, plays it into Golovin, finds Asprilla. What a run, what a cross, and then what a header for Florian Balogun. And for the last goal of the game, Camara into Henrique. Here's Minamito. Wow, I just gave you a new name. Henrique to Balogun, and then 6-1. That wasn't the only time scoring 6 goals in the game. We also beat Angry 6-0. They now got a reason to be angry. Hey. As normal, it all started from a corner kick. Salisu with his big head. There's Asprilla, plays it into Ben Seguir, and he just hits one low and hard, and it finds its way in the bottom of the corner. Here's the Kuiper from a throw. Here's Asprilla. What a cross. What a goal. Zakaria taps it in. It's from another throw in. Here's Mbolo. Whips it in. Far post. Asprilla with that far post header. And now I go, oh my gaze. It's another throw. It's another throw. It's the Kuiper far post. And then Mbolo. Okay. More of a reason to be angry. And then I think, is this the last goal? This has to be the last goal. Ben Seguir! Oh, what a hit! There's also us beating Saint Etienne 5-0, Auxerre 5-0, and Montpellier 6-3. But let's see if we have won anything. So in Ligue 1, we played 34, winning 28, drawing 5, and losing just the 1. And that 1 is so frustrating. It's at home to Havre, and it's one of the games that you would say, yep, this is a win. This is a win. No, we lost. In the Champions League, we got knocked out in the round of 16. No embarrassment to be knocked out by Arsenal. Our group was fairly decent as well. Bayern Munich, Monaco, Sporting CB, and Young Men. In the Coupe de France, we got knocked out in the quarterfinal by Clermont 63, and in Trophies des Champions, we were the winners, beating PSG 2-0 in that final. We did score the most goals, had the most shots for, the fewest shots against us, most dribbles, most clean sheets, and the fewest conceded. Our XG was the highest with 97, so we just about overperformed there. Most crosses completed, there we are. High intensity sprints, Ralf Rangnick all over. Chances created, Monaco on top. Passes, or final third passes per game, Monaco on top as well. I did say it was all about the striker. The striker did score the most goals for Monaco with 24, Golovin with 18, Zakaria with 13. Looking at the assists, we got Golovin on 11, and Mbolo and Asprilla on 12, Henrique on 18. As long as Balogun was the top goal scorer in Ligue 1, then everything is okay. Everything is a-okay. It also would have been very silly to test this without Austria in Euros. This is frustrating because we got out of the group stage not conceding a single goal, only to have France in the second round. And yeah, of course we lost that in the game. We got battered. We got battered in the final, but we kept ourselves in it, and we only got knocked out on penalties. So frustrated. I do feel this was still a good tournament. Can we say that? It was a good tournament. We played France, possibly the eventual winners. I didn't play it long enough to find out if they won it, because yeah, I was upset by then. But unfortunately, that wraps up today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's video with a twist. Don't forget to like this video if you have enjoyed it, but also make sure you check out the Patreon if you want to support myself and the channel. I'll see you guys soon. Shout out to all my patrons, by the way. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.